protesting in front of the SCOTUS building right now. They are outside with their plaques, with their bullhorns. And I'm not talking about the people that's against the overturning of Roe v. Wade. I'm speaking about those that's for it. It's going down. They verbally assaulting each other. They verbally fighting. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody get jumped tonight in DC. All right, it is looking ratchet as you know what. It is looking ghetto. But I'm gonna tell you something. The photos that I've seen, baby, the one thing I gotta say, it ain't no black people out there right now. It's basically pro-choice people, pro-lifers. There's also LGBT people there. You have atheists there. As I'm speaking, they are not playing. When I told you the culture wars are in full effect, to all my subbies and my newbies, the culture wars are here. It is going down, okay? And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm going live this morning around about 11 a.m. Okay, Eastern Standard Time, because we got to talk about this. I may be a little bit sleepy because I have insomnia. For those who don't know, and those who know, I do have insomnia, which is why I don't upload in the mornings like I do. I usually do my uploads around like 8, 9, 10 o'clock because that's the time I'm mostly up and mostly energetic. But honey, this ain't no joke. This is why I said what I said. If these things would have never happened back 2 years ago, they wouldn't have had the courage to overturn it. Now, the memo was leaked. I'm going to read the memo tonight. Tonight. I'm probably going to go live like late tonight, coming into like tomorrow early morning, because somebody leaked this. This was not supposed to be for the general public, but this is going to change the election. It's going to shift everything. First of all, let's keep it a beam, or let's keep it real. Women have been accustomed to this service, and you're going to take it away from them. Okay? This is like you're taking away, and I'm going to keep it real. It's like you taking away public assistance. I know I'm wrong for it, but it's like once you have a service that's allowed to exist and you like, oh, I'm going to take it away from you, you can't get upset over people getting mad. Now, at the same token, I personally don't think the service should have been constitutionally allowed. It should have been let the states and let the people vote. It should have been something voted on. But here's the thing. As I said in my earlier upload and commentary, the reason why this had to go constitutional for the right left wing is because they knew that this was the only way this was going to get passed. Because if you was to take a poll of people who believe in a women's right to choose, even if people say that they're for it, when you get to the polls, it's a totally different story because of the conscious. People consciousness kicks in and they think of the bambino, the bambina, the babies. Because everybody practically has a soft spot for children. If you really talk to people who are like really hardcore pro-choice, they don't want babies. They don't want to be parents. And I'm not still talking about women. I'm talking about men also. They don't want to have children. A lot of them who are really pro-choice, a lot of them are LGBT. They're not trying to have parents or children, or parenting is not in their future, not because they can't, they just don't want to. Because let's keep it real, you have LGBT people who do have children, not just through adoption, but also they have children through conceiving, even if it's like through artificial insemination. Let's be real. But the people who are really for this bill, for the whole Roe v. Wade outside, most of them, they're LGBT. Now, you do have people out there who identify as heterosexual, but the majority of them, they're LGBT and they're feminists. The pro lifers are Christians, they're not Muslims, they're not even Jewish. They're really Christians, right wingers, Republicans, conservatives, and they're out there speaking for the baby. But here's the thing, I'm all for pro life, but let's not be pro life. And then once the baby is born, you don't want to feed the children. You know, this whole thing is political driven. It's about getting the population back, having people be able to be fit. They're looking, as far as the leaders of this country, they're looking at what's going on now. And they're looking at liberalism. And they're looking like, just think, we're no longer number one with the exception of our military. We're basically we're a top 10 nation, but we're not there like we should be. And that's because we are a person that allowed dummies to run amok. China it should not be number one in terms of STEM. And they're thinking India shouldn't be big. If you got a powerful nation and this country, the minds are still like it was in 1940s, 1950s. Actually, I would say it's declined. You have to have people who are able to do math, sciences, technology. They have to be able to know that. Most people aren't going in a country, they're not going for STEM. You're getting people overseas to come over here. And America is tired of it. America doesn't want people from other countries coming over here. They want to produce their own. But Roe v. Wade is the reason why we had to basically get people from overseas. Think of 100, they said that it's like 100, we lost a population of 100 million. 50 of them were black babies. Just think if those numbers would have been here. Just think about it. This would be a whole different America because you wouldn't even be able to fit people coming here. Now, like I said before, if you didn't have the you know what's placed last year around this time, then they wouldn't have felt comfortable with Roe v. Wade. But see, all you women out there saying my body, my choice, you wasn't out there when people were trying to protect their rights to be able to do things with their body, if you know what I mean. Now you want everybody to come out there and support you. And let me say something, they're not. Now you know how it feels. With this election, let me tell you something about this election. This election ain't no joke, baby. A lot of people gonna come out there. They gonna run. They gonna vote because if it's in the hands of the elected officials and the people, it's going down. But let me tell you what's going to happen. I give it a couple of more weeks. They going to end those mandates. They going to end it because they realizing the mandates paved the way for this. Because the government, if the government could say what you could do with your body, then that's not just for anything. That's not just for what you could put inside your body. It's what you're carrying in your body. So that's what the government is playing. So I'm going to go live this morning. Now, I'm going to change it. It may not be 11. It might be 12. But for people that live like out on the West Coast, because I have followers that's from like the Midwest and West Coast, I may go live around like 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It'll be 12 or maybe it'll be 1 on my end, but I'm going live. We got to talk about this, what's going down. And I am going to also read some of the decisions that Alito made, because Alito wrote this all by himself. Alito is a staunch conservative. And honey, Alito, if you was watching my and listening to my Aries commentary, Alito is a Aries and he's born on April Fools. He ain't playing. He ain't playing. And I'm gonna tell you something. I do believe it's gonna be overturned. I really do. Oh, hi person. Whoever's in the chat, who's ever here for my live, what's up? Thank you for joining. Hit the like button. Share. Yeah, if you basically understand that he's in his mind being a ram, he wants to take control of the legal decisions. But here's the thing. All the people who are pro-life, particularly black people, I want you to listen to this. You may enjoy this, but they may try to overturn Brown v. Board of Ed. They may try to overturn the Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, all the things that we benefited from. We got to be careful. We got to look at this. See, this is why I love the power of voting, because you, me, we all have the power to basically choose, and we dictate the law. See, the judicial branch of government interprets the laws. The legislative branch passed the laws. The executive branch basically, they pretty much, execute the laws. They basically pass laws out, like execute them. They're like the face of the country and nation. But interpreting the laws is very powerful also. See, the Supreme Court justices, you don't vote them in. They're chosen by your elected officials. They're confirmed by your elected officials, except for local judges. Those are the ones that we have the power to say, we don't want you on the bench. And let me tell you something, I vote. I've voted in every election except for one or two. Yeah, hold on. Two. Okay? I don't play. And I will be voting in June for the primaries. I don't play. I exercise my right to vote. So, like, the one thing about people saying, let's not vote, let's hold on vote. No. You go out there and you vote, baby. But you just don't vote for what's popular. You can vote for, but you can also vote against. Just look at the history of Ed Koch running for governor. Then you'll understand where I'm coming from. You got the power to choose. Voice your opinion. The power's in your hand. Now, this is not a voting, whatever. This is not a voting commentary alive. But what I'm saying is, this is about power as a United States citizen, and you have to act it out, because all this is also happening too, because in New York, they gave undocumented the right to vote in local elections. Yeah, it will. It will. It's just, see, things like this, the right to privacy, the right, my body, my choice, it should be in the hands of the people. But they knew that people don't like the thought of, people love babies. Most people love children. And to harm an unborn child, in my opinion, is a cruel thing. It's a cruel thing. Have you ever seen photos of what goes on, the aftermath of what happens in those clinics? Once you see it, if you're pro-life, it will change your view. I've had friends that have had those procedures and they cried. And the guilt of it is really haunting them because of hearing the screams and seeing it. And let me tell you something, when you go to those centers, they show you a video of it. They give you one final chance. And they say, you can walk away. We just letting you know what we're going to do. So that when you get there, And hey, you see what happens, don't think you wasn't warned. Now I'll give them that. And then you have people that see it and it's like, nah. Because I know one girl I went to college with, she was like, nah. She saw the procedure, the video of it, bye, bye. So you have a lot of people that, yeah, they used the right to choose and they regret it. Then you got some that do it because it's like the service is there and it's like, hey, I'm gonna buy me, it's like I'm gonna buy me a brand new pair of, shoes from Aldo. I'm gonna give me some red bottoms. Yes, it's like that. So it's like, let me go to the, clinic. And it's not even like they have issues with their significant other or they don't have the money to take care of it. No, it's just like, oh yeah, I don't want it. So let me get rid of it because the service there. What's going to happen when they take away it, when they take it away and make it, state right? What's going to happen? It's going to make a lot of women have babies, or it's going to make a lot of them, really settle down, or really, it's going to really make a lot of women, and it's going to be kind of weird too. It's going to make a lot of women practice abstinence. I know, I know, it's weird what I'm saying, but here's the thing about it. Yeah. And another thing too is that a lot of men, believe it or not, they're gonna like this more so because it's like a lot of men never had a say in abortion, right? Or a woman's right to like their right to be a parent. Like, you went to the clinic and you basically got rid of it, but you didn't even tell me that you was pregnant, let alone that you can do this, and we in this relationship together. You have a lot of relationships that have ended because of this. You got a lot of trust factors. And to me, the whole pro choice has been one sided. And this is why. If you're pro choice, you just can't be for abortion. You got to be also for the right for a woman to carry a baby. Because I know some men that are pro abortion. But when it comes time to have a woman talk about their right to carry the baby and have it, they don't want to deal with it. So it's a flip side to it. But pro choice has always been the right for a woman to have an abortion, never the right for a woman to carry the baby. So it's really not pro choice, it's really pro abortion, but they got to make it clean. So it's like pro choice, the right to choose. BS. Now, I've always said I'm pro life, not pro birth. Meaning, I just don't want to see babies born. I want to see children thrive. I want us as a nation to thrive, as a community, particularly the Black community, to thrive. Because that's my community. Just like people from like their community, like the white community, they want to see their community thrive. The Latino community want to see their community thrive. The Asian community want to see their community thrive. The American community want to see their community thrive. Every community wants to see their community thrive. You don't want to see your community dwindle because of something that could have been prevented. You want to see, you want to basically see generations live on. And for people talking about generational wealth, yeah, that's all well and dandy, but you can't talk about generational wealth and be advocating for abortion. The two don't go hand in hand. We lost a lot as a community. Like I always said, 1973 is the lowest number of people being born. I looked up those statistics and saw them myself a decade ago. No joke. If you really think about it, you'll rarely bump or meet a person who's born in 1973. The numbers did start to pick up in 75 and the following year only because everybody wanted a bicentennial baby. But then they started to dwindle again, but they started picking up in the 80s. Then they started going down again. And then they started sort of picking up in the 90s. But by the end of the the century in the beginning, because everybody wanted a millennial baby, they started picking up again. And it seems that since we've been in the 2010s, believe it or not, our numbers has been really, really, really picking up. And with quarantine, because of the lockdowns, you had a lot of babies born, believe it or not. But I'm going to say this though, to the left, this is y'all karma. Y'all did this. You all did this. And I'm going to leave it on this note. To the right, if you're advocating for this to end, I want y'all to be sincere. I don't want y'all to just, advocate for this and then nothing else happens after that. So I'm signing off because I'm now about to go to sleep. I will talk to y'all later on today. Have a great day, and I will be talking to y'all soon. Later.